Hello everyone, my name is UltimoFive and today we are going over the Stradavar Prime, Viola shot. The Stradavar Prime is a prime version of Stradavar from Equinox Prime's release, and in order to obtain Stradavar Prime, one must open a variety of relics that contain the blueprint, barrel, receiver, and stock in order to make it at the foundry. Requires a mastery rank of 12, comes with 3 V polarity slots and alongside this a V auxilia slot, and because of this, the builds on this weapon require 2 forma. It excels in close to long range combat and deals with high leveled enemies of all factions and small to medium crowds, and it has an alternative fire that switches a weapon from full auto to semi-auto. The Stradavar Prime has a lot of buffs when compared to the original Stradavar in different areas. These stats would be higher base damage, higher primary critical multiplier, higher secondary critical chance, higher secondary critical multiplier, higher secondary status chance, a larger magazine capacity, higher secondary innate punch through, and the only nerf this prime received compared to the original is the secondary mode's fire rate. Advantages for its full auto would be that it has high accuracy when shooting from the hip, and near equal physical damage distribution. Advantages for its semi-auto mode would be that it has high slash damage, high status chance, a very high accuracy while aiming, and an innate 1 meter punch through. Advantages overall for the weapon would be that both modes have a very high critical chance and critical multiplier, and for disadvantages, the weapon's semi-auto mode consumes 2 rounds per shot. The elements for the Stradavar Prime against the Corpus will be Viral and Electricity. Viral amplifies health damage by 100% for 6 seconds and stacks up to 10 times for a total of 325%. Meanwhile, Electricity stuns the target for 3 seconds and deals 50% base damage per second for 6 seconds. The build's flex slot is Hammer Shot and works really well compared to the other factions. Electricity helps deal with robotic enemies while Viral procs help increase the damage against the target, which makes it so all enemies are easier to deal with, other than the small issue of alloy armor. In this case, the weapon still performs okay, but a bit slower. The elements for the Stradavar Prime against the Corrupting Grineer will be Viral and Slash. Slash's status effect is Bleed, and after 1 second it deals 35% of the base damage per second for 6 seconds, which bypasses armor. The build's flex slot is Hammer Shot and works great, except it is essentially the same results as the Fulmin, just stronger due to having innate slash damage and no electricity. This weapon can work against higher leveled enemies, but takes longer to kill them unless using a frame that boosts damage. The elements for the Stradavar Prime against the Infested will be Viral and Slash. The build's flex slot is Hammer Shot and works great, except at the same time not so much. Against the Infested, it is harder to deal with them, at least in survival missions, due to the amount of them that requires using the slow, semi-auto mode in order to punch through multiple enemies. Considering this weapon functions better in smaller crowds, full auto could work with modification of Shred though, making the Infested much easier to deal with. Vigilante Supplies. In place of having no Auxilius mod, this will cost 2 more forma in order to have though. Prime Bane of Grineer, Bane of Corrupted, Bane of Corpus, and Bane of Infested. In place of Hammer Shot if you want more damage against the said faction. Cryo Rounds. In place of Primed Cryo Rounds if you don't have it. And Prime Shredder Shred in place of the build's flex slot in order to get more punch through and fire rate, mainly for help in the steel path. This costs 1 more forma in order to have though. There are several ways to enhance critical chance and damage for this weapon. For instance, for damage, Rhino's Roar, Nova's Molecular Prime, which makes all sources of damage increase by 100% against primed enemies, Siren's Toxic Clash mixed with their Spores abilities, Wisp's Haste Reservoir, which bolsters fire rate, in turn increasing DPS, Mirage's Eclipse mixed with her Hall Mirrors adds massive damage bonus during the day or in light, Banshee's Sonar, which gives a huge damage multiplier, and Equinox's Rest and Rage in day form makes targets more vulnerable to damage. For critical chance, Harrow's Covenant can add up to 50% critical chance and 200% on headshots. The Adarza Kavat with Cat's Eye can give a 60% critical chance boost, and Smita Kavat with Charm can give a 200% crit chance. Arcane Acceleration. Upon critical hit, 30% chance for 90% fire rate to primary weapons for 9 seconds. Arcane Rage. Upon getting headshot, 15% chance for 180% damage to primary weapons for 24 seconds. Arcane Avenger. Upon being damaged, 21% chance for 45% critical chance for 12 seconds. And Arcane Primary Charger. Upon melee kill, 30% chance for 300% damage to primary weapons for 12 seconds. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more guides on Warframe, please click the like and sub buttons to let me know. And as per usual, I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.